Every week, a new band. Brought to you by NZ On Air. Active Live! Yeah.
Kia ora and welcome to today's Radioactive Live on 88.6 FM, brought to you by New Zealand On Air Music. I'm Charlotte, your host, and I'm excited to welcome JOLA Burns to the show today. How are you both doing?
Good. Yes, very excited to be here. Thank you for having us.
Thanks so much for coming in. Now, JOLA Burns is a live electronic pop duo hailing from Nelson and Wellington. Their sound creates an irresistible musical fusion of pop hooks and big beats. Shall we get started with the first song?
Yes, let's get into it.
Awesome.
He was just playing games for the weekend. He was never gonna be a good boyfriend. He was just playing games for the weekend. He was never gonna be a good boyfriend. Tell me, how does it feel to see her crying on the bathroom floor, or when she's sitting at the wheel, holding the shirt you always wore? And you shattered a trust, you left it worse than dust. Oh, what is love, and when is it ever enough? Maybe the night's still young, you don't know how many drinks he's down. The eyes wandering around, but I can watch you get played with like a toy. Play with like a toy. Play with like a toy. I can watch you get played with like a toy. Just playing games for the weekend. He was never gonna be a good boyfriend. He was just playing games for the weekend. He was never gonna be a good Thank you.
Sick, thanks. Can you tell us a bit about that track?
That track's actually about a friend of mine, and she was like, she really liked this guy, and she couldn't see that like he wasn't actually a great guy. And so I wrote this song because he was the kind of guy that would just play weekend games. That's what the song's called.
Good to know. Thank you for sharing that. I feel like, unfortunately, a pretty common experience that people go through. And now you guys are JOLA Burns. For the listeners who don't know too much about you, how did you guys get to start up JOLA Burns? A bit about the history.
Yeah, for sure. So we're actually cousins. So we were both lived back in Nelson for most of our lives. and kind of started playing music from when we were young. And
It was kind of just like at family gatherings, Kahu would pull out his guitar
yeah,
and I would start singing. And then one day his mum was like, you guys should like actually do something. And we were like, eh. And then we did. We wrote a song and we kind of never stopped.
yeah. And then we, I think kind of Rock Quest was a big thing for us. Yeah, we entered that a few years and got to the national finals, which was pretty awesome. That kind of definitely motivated us to keep writing and playing songs. So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, that's awesome. How would you like say that being cousins and making music together has kind of influenced your journey? Is it difficult being family, working together on projects?
I would say, to be honest, Kahu's probably like one of the easiest people that I've ever worked with.
That's good.
And it's actually crazy. I've never had a situation where we've disagreed on something really strongly. Like we always either come around or like make some kind of compromise. Like we never actually have any issues.
Yeah. It's definitely the easiest kind of act I'm working with. So yeah, it's great.
I think too, it's like I'm not scared to call him at like 12 p.m. or whatever, like 12 a.m. or whatever it is. So I guess it's kind of like just like having that connection and then getting to make music with someone with that connection is really cool.
Nice. That's so wholesome. I feel like that's such a nice, natural way to make music as well. Good that there's no bad blood in it. And now you mentioned as well you placed second in the national finals for Rock Quest in 2023, which is a pretty huge accomplishment. And I feel like you guys have done so many amazing things since then. Would you say that like placing second has kind of really, I don't know, skyrocketed your musical journey together? How would you say that experience influenced you?
Yeah, I feel like it kind of definitely kind of just confirmed our, well, I guess, yeah, just kind of encouraged us to keep writing. I wouldn't say it's kind of like blowing us up or anything, but we've definitely been able to kind of get more opportunities, I think, from that.
I think even like Rock Quest is really good because no matter like what placing you come at the national finals, the New Zealand music industry is so small that everyone knows everyone. And once you reach that point, then you become someone that people actually know. And so we got like quite a few gigs, you know, like over summer we did Sound Splash and we did the TSB festival and like Cuba Duper, Newtown. And that was pretty much, I feel like, through, you know, people who we knew.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And as well, you guys are both quite young and have, again, accomplished a lot in your musical journey so far. How is it being so young in the music industry? Does it come with different challenges or is it kind of an advantage for you guys?
Well, Kahu's nodding at me and that's probably because I'm the youngest. I mean, so I'm 17 and I would say the biggest thing for me is just like venues and the fact that I'm not 18. Most of the time it's okay as long as I bring my mum. But I've had a couple of instances where like I haven't been able to do a show just because of my age. And I would say that's the biggest thing for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'd say especially up here in Wellington, there's so many people around our age doing music and the community's so good that, and even back in Nelson it's the same. So I'd say from that kind of point it's definitely good to be young and doing music. So.
Yeah, for sure. It is such a pain, a big struggle, but it's awesome to see you guys still doing lots of live shows around the place, which is awesome. And now your sound combines pop hooks with electronic beats, as we just heard. How did you guys kind of find the style and develop the style to your own sound?
Yeah, it's kind of a thing we've developed over time, I guess. It's always been quite electronic. I still do listen to a lot of electronic music, and that kind of influences a lot of the production that I do. And then I think just seems to work with Eliada's vocals. And
Yeah, I mean, I don't actually listen to much electronic music at all. I'm very much like R&B, soul, like neo soul, and a lot of Afro beats. But I think it actually works really well. Like I'm able to bring that kind of twist to it, and Kahu does what he's good at, and we end up actually making some really cool stuff.
yeah, and it's the kind of stuff it's like super fun to play live.
Yeah.
And the crowd always seems to enjoy
That's
it.
definitely something we think of when we're writing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like you can definitely feel both of those different influences in the music, and it sounds so good. And yeah, can you delve into a bit more of the production process for each of your songs? Is it like really collaborative, or does someone?
I'm not a producer at all. So I'm kind of like, I'll just perch over his shoulder and be like, oh, like, what if we tried this?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Kahu does it all.
Yeah, I'd say it's definitely still a collaborative thing. Where we sit down and kind of work out ideas, and then I'm like, oh, we should put this drum beat, and then oh, Ellie's got this vocal idea, and yeah, it usually seems to come together quite fast. So
Yeah, nice. Wow, and saying all of this, shall we get into the next song?
All right.
One day at a time, take it slow, 'cause soon we'll go a million miles. If love's our only crime, think you'll find that we've passed our biggest trial. Now you're sitting in my room, can't believe it's almost June. Sweet smell of perfume, now it really feels like June. Picture this, kiss my lips, it was bliss, reminiscing. Broken and fixed, yeah, we're as good as new. You and I, we will always push through. Know for a fact that you're the best I can do. I get your name drawn on me as a tattoo. Will you be my one and only loved one? Wanna feel every feeling under the sun. Will you run every race until we've won? Now you're sitting in my room, can't believe it's almost June. Sweet smell of perfume, now it really feels like June. Picture this, kiss my lips, it was bliss, reminiscing. Your name's a tickle in my throat. Tell you everything I know. Welcome to the land of love. Take a deep dive into my mind. Your name's a tickle in my throat. Tell you everything I know. Welcome to the land of love. Take a deep dive into my mind. Picture this, kiss my lips, it was bliss, reminiscing. Picture this, kiss my lips, it was bliss, reminiscing.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Can you tell us about that track?
I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. It's a love song. There are so many love songs. I think what's actually pretty funny is I wrote this song before I'd ever had a boyfriend. And it's because, like, I started writing songs when I was, like, 4. And then all through primary school. So I kind of got to, like, age 12 or 13, and I was like, what am I supposed to write a song about now? And then I would draw inspiration from like movies or like other songs or books or like things that I heard on the radio. So then I came out with a whole bunch of like really mature sounding songs. But yeah, I think that one speaks for itself.
Yeah, nice. I love that you draw inspiration from so many different things as well. Awesome. And now we kind of mentioned just before about how many like live performances over the summer. You guys sound like you've been so busy. And your live shows are described as energetic with samples, drum pads, guitar and synths, which I can see here is quite like the complex setup to me.
Yep.
How is it kind of balancing and managing all these different elements and playing on stage?
Yeah, it can definitely be a bit confusing. I don't think we've ever had anything go horribly wrong.
Well, I mean, I feel like I have it pretty easy. I just show up and plug in my microphone, and then I kind of stand around because I don't feel very helpful.
Yeah, I my brain's kind of tuned to all this stuff, so I just love setting it all up and everything. But yeah, it's super fun to have.
But there have been like a few times where maybe the sample hasn't started or like the song hasn't started, and then it's kind of that awkward thing that like Kahu's frantically trying to figure it out, and I'm just like trying to make small talk. Yeah, that's the worst thing.
That sounds pretty complicated and it looks very complex, but it's good to hear that it's all second nature to you. And again, you mentioned Soundsplash, Newtown Fest, Cuba, so many summer shows. Have there been any particular memorable moments or performances so far for you guys?
Yeah, I'd say Soundsplash was pretty awesome. Yeah, it was, I guess, one of our first kind of actual festival gigs. And we were kind of on one of the earlier slots in the day, and like even though the crowd like wasn't like they didn't show up heaps, it was still like I feel like one of our best gigs. We played super well, and it was just so much fun to be on a stage that size, and that was definitely a highlight for me.
I would say my favorite was Cuba because we were on first, and it was like we were playing at 12. And it was kind of like 11:45, and there was no one there, and I was like, "Oh, okay, this is gonna be really fun." And then like I went backstage, and then I came out, and it was like full. And as we started performing, it just kept filling up. And I think that was a really cool moment. And it was just a really fun, energetic crowd. So that was my favorite one.
That sounds awesome. Is there any like dream festival that you guys would love to be on the lineup for?
I know. I remember we said this like, I want to say like 4 years ago. I saw like a thing on TikTok for Tomorrowland, and I was like, "Kahu, like this is our goal."
Yeah.
So that's what I say.
Yeah. It'd be pretty amazing to play there.
Yeah, that would be so sick. Dream big, you'll get there, I'm sure. And now, kind of touched on it as well. You guys sound like you're both extremely busy people with your own other projects too, on top of JOLA Burns. So how is it kind of balancing all of your own different projects as well as like collaboratively as a duo?
Okay, me first. It is very difficult, I think, because we're both really busy, but you make time for it. And I think the best thing about it is actually Kahu and I could not see each other for 2 months, and then we'll come together and everything comes back. You know, it's like all muscle memory. Like we practiced this morning for this.
Wow.
And it, like every time it just clicks back into place, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah. For some reason, the duo just seems to work really well, and somehow we remember the songs. Yeah.
That's so awesome to hear. That's really nice. And now, Aliana, you also went to LA recently, like just back 2 weeks ago, which is huge, and doing a lot of work on your music there. How would you say your like experience there and kind of, I guess, going with your solo project can influence and like further develop JOLA Burns too?
Yeah, I mean, LA was crazy. It was so cool. I was actually in the States because I won a scholarship to a songwriting camp in Seattle. And so after being there for a week, we went over to LA for a week. And it was crazy. It's literally everything you think it would be and more. I remember being so sad leaving because I'd only had 4 days there. And I think what was also really cool is I feel like my genre, especially like the R&B and Afro beats, there's not a huge scene. Oh God, there's not a huge scene here in New Zealand. So I think it was really cool being over there and just seeing so much of it and like so much love for it. And everyone that I worked with was like a pro at it already. So that was really cool. But I feel like even like the stuff that I learned there, I bring back and I like translate for JOLA Burns. So I think it's really cool. I think everything is very intertwined.
Yeah, I feel like every time Eliana, we like meet up or Eliana gets back from something, she's like gotten 10 times better. It's pretty crazy.
That is so awesome. It's so cool to see how you've got so much like development already in your career in music, and to see where it goes next is awesome. Shall we get into the third song?
Sure.
Alrighty.
Text you 1 a.m. I know you'll reply. Got a lot to say when it hits twilight. For a second I listen to what you say. Listen points in my head. For a while I let you drive the bus till I had to get off at my stop. I'm dancing in Goldfields. I'm walking around in Desiree, California, 'cause I don't think I would care. I was dancing in my room when my thoughts went straight to you. Said we'd meet at the park tomorrow afternoon. Now I'm tearing up the pages from my book, stuck on the way that you look. Can't get over the person I thought you were. How you made me feel like an amateur. I'm dancing in Goldfields. I'm walking on air. Desiree, California, 'cause I don't think I would care. I'm dancing in Goldfields. I'm walking on air. Desiree, California, 'cause I don't think I would care. I'm dancing in Goldfields. I'm walking on air. Desiree, California, 'cause I don't think I would care.
Awesome, thanks. Can you tell us a bit about that one?
This one, we wrote this so long ago. Like we wrote this for Rock Quest, and I think we did that 2022 or 2023. And so I can't remember what it's even about, to be honest. But I know that I wanted to write a song that was just like upbeat and like carefree. And it's actually really funny singing it now because I've just been to California and I can tell you that it does not rain in California.
Yeah, and it's quite weird because it's like it's quite a different sound to our other tracks.
Yeah.
And it's our only song that's like this. But it's just quite fun to pull out at the live shows and have a totally different sound.
And it's Kahu's favourite because it's got the big guitar solo.
Yeah, and the crowd always seems to love it. So yeah, it's fun.
No, it was awesome. It was super fun and catchy. Loved it. And now you guys have, again, been so busy, so much going on. But what else is coming up next for the future of JOLA Burns? Where do you see JOLA Burns evolving to next?
Oh, well, I was going to say we have so much unreleased material. So I think for us, it's probably about refining it and making more. I feel like, I definitely think the stuff that we're writing now is very different to what we have out on like other DSPs now. So I think it'd be really cool to really work on it and then like bam, come out with it.
Yeah, and we're actually playing a show at Meow Nui next week, which will be pretty awesome. Where we've got family friends who are in a band called Minuit. They're playing a headline show at Meow Nui, which is amazingly sold out. So huge thanks to them for getting us on for that.
And also they they put us in contact for this interview. So thank you for that too.
It's going to be a crazy night.
Yeah, amazing. That sounds so cool. So much happening and going on for you guys. Excited to see what it does come up next and some more music release hopefully soon. And now where can the listeners find you guys to keep an eye and an ear out for all of these exciting things?
So on Instagram you can just search JOLA Burns Music, I think it is. And on any DSP it's just JOLA Burns. That's all caps.
Beautiful. And now here at Radioactive, each Active Live, we do a thing where the last Active Live will give me a question to pass on to this week's Active Live. And then after that, I'll get a question from you guys to pass on to the next one. But the question for you is, what scares you the most right now?
Oh my gosh. This is so difficult. Is it like music related or just anything?
Anything.
I feel like I'm at the age, so I'm 17 and I'm like thinking about like moving out of home, and because I want to pursue music, it wouldn't be going to uni. So I think that's probably the scariest thing, is like thinking about where I want to go next and when. But yeah.
Yeah, I'd say it's kind of similar for me. I'm in my second year of university, but it's just trying to work out where that leads and what's going to happen. And also, for some reason, I'm really scared of heights at the moment.
Fair
So
enough.
random.
Pretty scary stuff, but also super exciting. Not the heights,
it's all
but the
very
other
exciting.
stuff.
So.
Beautiful. Have you got a question for me to pass on to next week's
I
Active
do.
Live?
I've been thinking about this. I've been thinking about this. I want to know what's your weirdest before stage tradition or like ritual? Like, what do you do that you have to do every single time that's so random? Like, I have a friend who has to eat a steak, and every time before a show, he'll eat a steak.
Interesting.
I personally don't have any really weird ones, but I know that other people do, and I'd like to hear them.
Yeah, that's a great question. Thank you. I feel like we have got time for one last song, but I just wanted to say a huge thanks for JOLA Burns for coming in today and blessing our ears this Friday Arvo on Radioactive FM's Active Live. And of course, a massive thanks to New Zealand On Air Music for making this all possible. I've been Charlotte, your host, and you're tuned in to Radioactive 88.6 FM. Do you want to close out with one final song?
Yeah, let's
For
go
sure.
for it.
Yeah,
Awesome.
thanks so much for having us.
Thanks so much for coming in.
Kinda like it when it falls apart. Pull it to pieces, then we'll just restart. That's the only way to mend a broken heart. Maybe someday we'll talk about all the ways in which I was hurt. Right now, you're awfully quiet and you're no introvert. I see the blood on your shirt. Find it hard to breathe the same air. So don't you say that I don't care. I'm learning to say okay without a hug you back. you never did ink. 'Cause not for a second did I ever imagine you would leave me here abandoned. But I promised I'd show no reaction. Without, I'm learning to say okay without arguing back. I'm learning to stay calm without getting mad. I'm learning no matter how much I cry, you will never stay. Whoa, without, I'm learning to say okay without arguing back. I'm learning to stay calm without getting mad. I'm learning no matter how much you cry, you will never stay. Whoa, without hate. People watching in an airport, smile at you as an afterthought. And it breaks my heart to see you and I apart. Crying photo on my passport, all because you fell short. Not the person you said, so get out of my head, of my head, get out of my head. Not the person you said, so get out of my head. I'm learning to say okay without arguing back. I'm learning to stay calm without getting mad. I'm learning no matter how much you cry, you will never stay. Whoa, without hate. I'm learning to say okay without arguing back. I'm learning to stay calm without getting mad. I'm learning no matter how much you cry, you will never stay. Whoa, without hate. Thank you.
Active Live. Friday, 3:30. Every week a new band. In studio. Brought to you by NZ On Air.